Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana and I am here to talk to you guys about stage 2 of the rebrand. If you are new here, the rebrand is a journey that I am on personally, that I decided to share with everybody, to give everyone an opportunity to step into a new life and experience something different, right? So that's totally up to you if you want to join me, but I figured I would share because I personally am tired of seeing everybody get to the other side of their journeys and we don't hear nothing about it, right, until they're over there. So I just wanted to take you guys with me so that you could experience this as I do. So if you want to learn more about my rebrand journey, then head over to my Instagram at simply_DP, where I really get into the nitty gritty about what it is that I'm doing. So stage 2 is the decision. And stage 2 for me is really big because I feel like this is the part where you actually set in motion, right? Like whatever it is that you're creating for yourself. So for me, I am desiring to get a new place and buy a new car and really launch my business as a rebrand consultant ultimately, right? Like as the advisor to support people as they navigate their journeys. 2 years ago, I quit my job and that was a decision that I had to make, right? So I'm enrolling myself back into the process that I pretty much look at as my life cycle, right? I think all of us come to a place where we acknowledge that life is kind of repetitive. You're met every couple years with the same decision to make, and you have the option to go down the path that you've already chosen or to go down a new path, right? And a lot of times that new path is a little bit more scary because it's unknown. It's something that you've never done, never experienced before. So 2 years ago, I made a decision. I made a decision to quit my job. I made a decision to sell my car and to break my lease and leave my apartment. And now I'm in a new place, right? Where I'm now deciding that I want to restart and jumpstart my life again, right? So the decision is you saying that you're committing to the thing that you're trying to create for yourself, right? For a lot of people, we're in a place where we're deciding that we don't want a job anymore, or we're deciding that we don't want to be in a relationship anymore, right? But there's the chaos of the mind that is you trying to figure out what it is that you want to do. And then there is the moment where you're saying, okay, this is it. No matter how scary, no matter how much change I'm going to experience or how much difference I may feel, no matter whose heart breaks because of it, whether it's my heart or someone else's, no matter who I'm going to disappoint, this is my choice. This is this decision that I'm wanting to make for myself. But we don't really acknowledge that as being the truth, right? Being a part of a certain friend group and knowing that maybe that friend group is a part of a personality or a persona that you once possessed that you no longer want to be, right? And then deciding, okay, I'm going to separate myself from this environment so that I can elevate, right? You have some people who want to pursue certain things and the people that they're around are not supportive of them or are not encouraging them per se, right? So then they have to decide to separate themselves from those people. The decision is really where your new life begins. It's not even in the action per se. It's you deciding that is the catalyst. It's the enzymatic catalyst to starting that new reaction of life, right? To give yourself, give God, give the universe an opportunity to say, okay, this is what you're wanting. So here's what needs to happen in order for you to get it. And then those things start happening in the background after you decide. Well, before you take even the first action, once you've made it up in your mind that that's what you want, then things start to kind of figure themselves out. So the decision is really important to me because as someone who, maybe takes pride in being the advisor to most of my community, right? Like, people come to me and they seek my counsel and, just the knowledge that I have on all the life experiences that I've had so far. And they trust me with, the decisions that they're making for their lives. And this is the hardest part for all of us, because it subconsciously tells us that we're going to now be doing something that may make us uncomfortable for a little while. And people don't like being uncomfortable. People don't like experiencing discomfort for anything, right? Like, which is why it's so hard for most of us to get to new levels, because it requires us to do something that we've either never done before or something that is not going to be comfortable, right? So as we're embarking on this week, I say to you, what is it that you want? And then what are you willing to do in order to get that thing? Who are you willing to release, right? And we like to try to trick ourselves and say, well, maybe I could keep this thing that I enjoy and also get the thing that I really want. And I'm here to tell you, no. You can't trick the energy. You can't trick God. He knows and sees all, right? So you're not getting away with anything. Either you want what you want or you don't want it. It's really no in between. And that's where the courage and the confidence comes in. And you being able to say, no matter what, no matter how uncomfortable I'm going to be, this is what I want. So whatever I have to do in order to have it, that's what I'm going to have to do. Right? And that's just my personality, period. Like, sometimes people look at me and they're just like, oh, Dana, how do you just move on? How do you just separate yourself? It's almost like you don't have any, emotional remorse. And it's like, well, first of all, I understand how life works, right? So I understand that we only know in part, right? I think it's 2 Corinthians where God is like, something about our maturity, right? And the fact that we make decisions on the information that we currently have. And as you journey along whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, you acquire more knowledge, right? How many times have you personally done something and then you get to the end of it and it was for a whole nother reason than what you thought you sought out or sought after, right? So I understand that I don't know nothing. I don't know anything about this life. So whereas people take a long time to make a decision because they're concerned with how it's going to make them feel in the moment, I'm someone who understands that those emotions are just that. They're just emotions. You only feel them for a short amount of time. And once I go on this journey, I may not have to release you, right? It may be just something I need to separate myself from for right now in order for me to accomplish my dreams and goals. So it's like, I grew up in, a time where children were latchkey. Like, I'm entering and exiting my home and navigating life almost as an adult, you know what I mean? And I got to see and experience the beauty and the possibility of life through a certain level of freedom, you know what I mean? And exposure. And being a child who was well liked by the people who were caring for her, and people always wanted to take me places and do things with me, and you know what I mean, show me different things that I was not exposed to. And mostly, my teachers and counselors in school, and they would take me to different excursions. And I got to go to North Carolina when I was in high school because I was the ambassador of my school. And that broadened my horizon, right? Which made me desperately want to accomplish more in my life. And because that's my goal, because my goal is crossing the threshold on being a thought provoker and a thought leader, on being a world-renowned public speaker and advocate for wellness and health and life and spirituality, and desiring to touch millions of dollars and have millions of experiences and be able to give back to my community. That's the only thing I care about. That's the only thing I care about. That's my purpose. And I've sat with God, and I sat, in my own meditation and evaluated my gifts and my skills. And those are the things that are most in alignment with me. So if it comes down to me having to decide the comfort of my right now experience and even the possibility of accomplishing my dreams and goals, I'm always going to decide my dreams and goals. So you have to decide, what is it that you want? What are you willing to release and let go of? And can you commit to your decision and see it through over these next few weeks with me? So I'm excited to have you here. Thank you for joining me today. If you are following my journey, follow me on Instagram @simplydp, and I'll see you guys soon.